Hi, I'm Frank Caruso, producer of Oregon Life. We're going back in time to see some of the great stories we've done over the past few years, and that includes Julianne Wood, Nate Mendel, and the Little Free Library. So stay tuned and enjoy these shows. In this story, I got to sit down with Nate Mendel, an amazing talent. Something you may not know about Nate. He is an incredible singer. He brings a wealth of talent to our school and to the district. So enjoy this episode.
My name is Nate Mendel. I'm the director of the Oregon Performing Arts Center, and welcome to Oregon Life. So I'm a graduate of UW-Madison with a degree in vocal music education. After graduating, I ended up running a recording studio for several years, worked with the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's Concerts on the Square, produced and recorded and mixed a couple hundred a cappella albums for college and professional groups around the world, and ended up in my own professional a cappella ensemble that performed around the world until about 6 years ago when I decided to hang up the nice suit and conduct choral music for the past 5 years before coming here to Oregon to be the director of the Performing Arts Center. My background touring in multiple venues, working with people, hundreds of shows per year, really helps to inform what we do with the students here in the Performing Arts Center on a day-to-day basis with regards to setting up the lights and the sound and making sure that we're always providing the best product for any given concert or performance that's happening. One thing that the Performing Arts Center is doing right now that I'm very excited about is we're bringing in nationally and internationally touring artists from around the world and putting together a performing arts series that's open to the community with great entertainment that you might otherwise expect to see in a huge performing arts venue, but right here in our community. When we bring in artists from around the world that perform here on our stage, it provides another layer for the students that are studying in band and orchestra and choir, as well as the students that are interested in tech, to see firsthand and help with these professional concerts. It gives the students an opportunity to have clinics with professionals right here at home, and it just allows for a continuous experience of learning within a facility that's also creating a great product for the community. I've found that people often underestimate how important good quality sound and lighting can be. And so teaching those aspects to these student tech workers so that they can take that with them to college and to other theaters as they grow with their skills is very important to me. The Oregon community has a beautiful theater that I think is oftentimes underestimated with a state-of-the-art sound system and gorgeous lighting. And being able to work in that field every day with these high school students is just awesome. One of the great things about the school here is that we have a cadet program where students can choose to spend an hour each day helping out in the PAC, and it's a wonderful opportunity to learn more about sound, lights, and general theater management. So I'd like to encourage the whole community to come and check out a show or multiple shows at the Performing Arts Center. It's a great place. We're going to have a great time. I hope to see you there.
Good morning, Torhorst Insurance. This is Randy.
Torhorst Insurance, this is Christine. How can I help you?
Torhorst Insurance, this is Chad.
Oh, hey, Sean.
Hey, Sarah. How are you doing today?
Oh, hey, Jerry. How you doing? At Torhorst Insurance, we believe in Oregon. And we also believe in the important service OCA Media provides for our community. Torhorst Insurance is happy to support programs like the one you are watching. Your locally owned and operated insurance agency, serving the needs of our community for over 40 years.
There's a great deal of people who are interested in what's going on, and they have thoughts and opinions and passions that they want to share, and I think that's awesome. I think it creates a better product from the government side of things.
So when we talk about the library and building a new library, we talk about the building part a lot, but that's not really what it's about. It's really about people. We're not really just building a library, we're building community, and people in our community members are really at the heart of that.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Bring it. Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys. You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one? I gotta go eat, man. Sorry. I'll see you later.
In this next story, I had the pleasure to talk to Pete, Claire, and Alexa. They put together a free little library. And a lot of you may not know, but the free little library started in Hudson, Wisconsin. So that's not too far from us here in Oregon. Enjoy this show.
Hi, my name is Pete, and this is my little free library. And I've always wanted a little free library, see them all around, and we never really got around to doing one. But then our last foreign exchange student, who was from Sweden, loved the idea of little free libraries, and her and my wife would walk all around town, stopping at them and picking up books and dropping off books. And so as kind of a way to honor her love for books and for the libraries, we finally decided to have one built and painted.
So who built it?
The library was built by my stepdad. He's one of those guys who you give him a pile of wood and tell him what you need and he'll build it. And that's pretty much what I did. I sent him a plan for the library and he built it and got the post ready, and then I picked it up and we brought it home, and we finally were able to get it painted up by our neighbor, and now it's up and ready for use.
How did you come up with the design?
The design was mostly my wife's idea. We ultimately decided to go with a Disney theme because we're big Disney fans.
Which is lovely, all the animals on there.
Yeah, it's kind of the Snow White Disney theme of it. You got the cherry pie, and you got the dwarves around, and you got the little birds.
the birds, you know, and as let's walk around the back, Pete, because there's, you know, when you keep looking at this, you just discover more and more, like the little turtle in here in the window, which is really neat. And then the birds up here, I can hear them almost whistling. And
the apple.
They do not bite that apple. And then the little birdie here, and then the doors with the birds and the flowers and the books.
Yep.
It looks great. So let's talk to the others involved in the creation of this.
Sounds good.
Hi, I'm Claire. I live here in Oregon. And my husband and I always wanted to put up a little library, and we thought about it. And then we started hosting exchange students, and our most recent exchange student, Naomi, she's from Sweden, she really loved little libraries, and she loved books. And in fact, when she came or was on her way to come, she packed a whole suitcase full of books, rather than what she would need for her time on exchange. So she ended up not bringing any books, or only a few, I think. And when she got here, she really loved these little libraries. And so we'd walk all over Oregon and get books, and she would read and read. And that was kind of the inspiration after she went home. She was here for 6 months to really push us to get one, and to make it our own. And so then we were really thinking about what kind of design we'd like, and Pete wanted me to think about what would be on the little library. And originally we thought of something with fairy tales. I really am a Disney fan. So we just went with this theme. I saw this little grumpy guy and he spoke to me. I identify with grumpy, so we decided to go with that theme, and Alexa made it a reality.
So your exchange student, when she came over, she has a love of books, but at that point, at that moment, she had no idea about these free little libraries.
No, she didn't. She just thought they were so neat, and there's quite a few in this neighborhood, and so we would walk to them, and she'd find some books.
Is there a way online to trace where the free libraries are?
Yeah, you can go to the website. If you Google little free libraries, there's a website, and you can see on a map where all the little libraries are in the world, actually. Most of them are in the United States, but there's others in the world as
And
well.
yours is going to be on that website, isn't it?
It is. We just ordered our plaque the other day, and we'll have a charter number, I think it's called, and then we'll know what our number is, and we'll be on the map.
Great. Well, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, this is fun. We like the idea of community and the idea of sharing the books that we have. And we've had, even when we were still putting it up, some neighbors were walking by saying they've got books they want to add, and they were really appreciative for it. So we want to have kids' books and adult books, and share the books that we all have in our houses that just sit there.
Thanks, Claire.
Thank you.
My name is Alexa. I'm from the Oregon area. I recently graduated from UW Parkside with a degree in theater, specifically painting. I was neighbors with Pete and Claire, and they knew I did some art stuff, so they asked me to paint their little free library, and it was so much fun. Claire wanted the Disney theme, so I ran with it. We've got animals everywhere. We've got the pie.
So were you free to kind of put your own artistic touch on, like the pie there, the flowers?
Definitely. Claire had some ideas of what she wanted, some specific animals, but I definitely kind of used my own artistic touch as well for some of the ideas.
So were there any challenges in painting any of the, because some of them are very detailed and very small.
Yeah, I had to learn how to best paint a cartoon character. Ended up using some markers for that, maybe cheating, but
You know, I have to ask, the likeness of the characters, like the bunny down there is so representative of the, how do you match that?
well, we had some stencil outlines, which were really helpful for just the outer edge of each character. And then filling them in as I went, I just made sure I knew right where their lines were and made them prominent in the end so that they would stand out more. And
So you said you're a theater major. What do you hope to do with that?
So my concentration was in scenic painting. I paint sets for theaters. I've interned in Pennsylvania, California, done some stuff around the UW Parkside area, and hoping to get a job whenever theaters reopen after COVID.
I hear you. Hey, thanks for doing this. I must say it's one of the most beautiful ones of the free libraries I've seen as I cruise around our little town here. And
it was a pleasure.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you.
I order. You order what? Feed me! You can talk. I got a talking plant. I wonder if there really are people on Mars.
Well, who knows?
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
This is Chief Jenny Pagankoff with the Oregon Police Department. You're watching OCA Media.
In this next story, I got to sit down with Julianne Wood. She helps young people pursue their dreams in business. She also was featured on a TED Talk. Here's the story. Julie, welcome to Oregon Life. Thanks for being with us.
Well, I'm so excited to be here, so thank you for having me. So I just want to talk a little bit about my entrepreneurial journey and how I got into helping youth with entrepreneurship. So I actually grew up in a very entrepreneurial family. My mom had a little antique store right outside of Oregon for a little while, and my dad had his own heating and air conditioning business. So, and we had some rental properties. So we sort of worked on family businesses and helped with different things along the way. And then my parents got us into 4-H. And one of the things we did was we raised steers because we lived out in the country, and we sold them at the fair. And then we bought another steer, and it sort of got us our college fund going. And we learned how to run the business and take care of all of the things we had to take care of. And so I really had a lot of entrepreneurship as growing up. Then when I went to college, I decided I wanted to be a teacher. I always loved teaching and helping other people. So I went into elementary ed at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And when I got out, there weren't very many jobs in Madison, and they didn't pay very well. And so I decided that wasn't, and I didn't really like my student teaching because there's a lot of rules in schools, and I'm not really a great rule person. So I decided to go back to school. I got an accounting degree. I went into an accounting firm, and then a client of ours asked if we would want to start a business. And I was in my 20s, late 20s at that time, and I was like, I have no idea how to run a business. So he talked me into it, and another person, we went and started this accounting systems business and ran that for 3 years. And then it got sold to another accounting firm that I went to work. And then, but in that 3 years, I learned probably more than I ever had learned in my whole entire life. Probably the whole time I went to school and all of that. And I thought, this is such a valuable thing. And why aren't we teaching this to kids? So I got the opportunity to work at the Small Business Development Center at UW-Madison, and they had a youth entrepreneur camp. And that youth entrepreneur camp was geared towards middle school kids. And in 2008, we had a budget cut, and the director said to me, we're not going to be able to have this camp. And I was like, oh no, this is like my favorite thing to do all year. So I proposed to rewrite the curriculum and get our own staff to run it, and so we wouldn't have very many costs. And we did that, and it became quite a big success. We had kids from all over the country come. They would come and stay in Madison for a week just so they could go to this camp. And working with these kids is so amazing. They're middle school, and middle school is such a great age because it's such a transition age. And this young man that I met, Eli, he came and he had this great idea for educational travel. And he had done that with his family, and decided he really learned a lot, but he knew a lot of other kids couldn't afford this. And this is one trend that I've always have seen in the last few years, is that kids really want to change the world. They really want to make a difference. They really want to solve our problems. So when I first started doing the camp, I think it was more about making money, but now it seems more about making a difference. And the money is secondary, which is what it should be when you start a business. It really should be your passion and talents, and then the secondary. But Eli came in after the camp, and a few other kids have done that too, and wanted to meet and talk about their business. And he came in, and then he got his business listed on the Madison School Foundation site and started raising funds. He would go and speak. He came to our youth entrepreneur alumni event that I put on and talked, and then he raised money for his charity there. And so he kept going on. And then this past year, he actually donated $12,000 to another area nonprofit, CEOs of Tomorrow, for their educational trip to Botswana. And just amazing how the difference he can make. And one thing that I've really noticed is so many businesses around me are closing now because of retirement, and they can't find people to take over that business. So it's even more important at this time, not only to make kids realize they can make a difference, they can use their passions and talents to change the world, but that they can be the solution for our economies. And now with COVID-19, it's even more vital because there's even more businesses closing, and we really need to have a pipeline, and our schools are not doing a very good job of doing that. So I really think it's really important for us to try to put in some youth entrepreneur programs and other things so that we can actually kind of get that entrepreneurial mindset going, that spirit, and so they actually know that that is a viable career option for their future. One of the most important things for an entrepreneur, or any person in that matter, is to have your goals. So I have this whiteboard, and I write down my goals for the year and put my biggest goals, usually 5 or 6 of them. And then what I do is I can see that it's in front of me, and it's very important to write those down, not just to have them in your head, but to write them down, to be able to see them on an ongoing basis, to kind of have them in your brain. And then I create this action list, and each week I go through and I say, what do I need to do to go towards those goals? And so these are my little tasks that I have to do and get done, and if I don't finish them, I move them. So one of the things is, a lot of people do this electronically, and if that works for you, that's great. But for some reason, when I write it, in my handwriting and I really can think about it, it really gets into my brain. And so that's very important for you to do, is to have not only the goals, but the action items that get you to that goal. So talking about goals, one of my big goals was doing a TEDx talk. And I have probably had that on my bucket list for 5 years. So about 2 years ago, a person from Madison College contacted me and said they were going to do a TEDx event in Madison, and they were looking for someone to do youth entrepreneurship. And I was like elated pretty much. And then the pressure came, right? Then I'm like, okay, what do I say? What do I include? All of that. So I came up with a proposal. I did my audition. It's like a shortened thing. And then they pick. And it was about 2 years of refining and practicing and working together as a group, all of the speakers for the event, until we actually finally got to the event, and it was during COVID. So we had to do it virtually, and there was no audience. So you go in there and you're like talking to the chairs, right? But it's really, an exciting thing to do, to get your message out there, because it's going to impact a lot of people that way. And so I was really excited that I got the opportunity to do it, and it really helped me as a speaker, and it really helped me refine my message so that I could really get the message out there about youth entrepreneurship, how important it is not only to kids and inspiring and empowering them, but also to our economies and our communities that we live in. I never thought about writing a book, but then people started calling and asking, how do I put one of these programs together? How do I put a youth entrepreneur program together? And I thought, that might be a business idea. And that's kind of how I started my business, eSeedling, for entrepreneurial seedlings is kind of what I go by. And then I went to a seminar and they said, you really should write a book. It's your calling card, it's your credibility, it gets you indoors, and it can help people. So I wrote More Than a Lemonade Stand, and it's for teachers and youth organizations, parents, people who want to implement some kind of youth entrepreneur program. And it goes through all of the steps that I've done for the past 12 years, putting a program into place, the planning, the forms, the marketing, all of the things that you have to do, plus the curriculum. And so it's kind of like a DIY guide for those people.
Hi everyone, it's Frank again. Before I leave, I want to thank everyone for supporting Community Access TV, and a special thank you to Torhorst Insurance. Tune in again next week for new episodes. Take care everyone. Have a great day.